Tiffany, I'm so happy to be able to sit down and chat with you. As the artistic director of the Star Dance Company, we just finished an amazing show, Move, Dance for the World of Entertainment. We did. I'd love to have some of your insights into how this amazing thing happened. So could you talk to us a little bit about how you went about crafting a show that would showcase 120 unique dancers?
Well, it takes a minute, that's for sure. I asked the faculty, we have 10 faculty choreographers, and I asked the faculty in November to send me their ideas of different size dances, small, medium, and large, jazz, tap, ballet, hip hop, contemporary ballet, contemporary tap. I asked for it all, and we were working together to try and build this fresh, vibrant idea. And then as I'm culling through and picking it apart, thinking, how can I take about 45 or 50 ideas and pick 20 and see how they can be cohesive? It's a little bit like putting together a puzzle. And then when we came back in January, we held an audition that the dancers attended 4 different styles of audition. So it was a period of 4 days where they auditioned for a jazz music theater combo, a hip hop combo, a tap combo, and a ballet lyrical combo. And that way each choreographer could really see the unique talents of every dancer, and they could look at each dancer and see if the piece that they were going to present at the show really was in alignment with the skill set of the dancer. So it was a really engaging process, and the students had a really dynamic process, because you have one dancer who's a tap dancer but maybe doesn't feel as good at the ballet lyrical audition, but in order to be considered for the show, they had to attend all 4. So that is directly in line with show business and what all of our dancers are going to experience when they're out there. So it was a win-win for everybody. The students got to have practical practice at auditioning, which they can never have too much of, and then also the faculty choreographers got to have a really intense and diverse experience with the dancers so that they could be placed in all of the dances in a unique way.
Well, and when you're doing a show with so many people and so many components, what role did collaboration play in making everything meld together?
So the collaboration happened on many, many layers. Our whole department exists within collaboration in easy ways when we just pass by each other, but also in the most creative and intimate spaces where we really have to lean on each other for help, for answers, for compromise, for a collective sense of whatever it is that we're trying to build. One of the interesting things that I think about our show is that when I really look at how many people are involved, it's just under 200 different people working on this show. So that's 120 dancers, that's 50 crew members, that is 10 faculty choreographers, that is our full costume shop, our full box office staff. We have faculty members and staff that mentor and then also literally help load in all of our tech equipment into the theater.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
Well, and as you're crafting that show, you do a marvelous job of the ebb and flow of the show so that the storyline builds and has some highlights and lowlights and emotions change. How do you go about going from one dance into the next dance? Both choosing the order and then having the faculty choreographers collaborate on that transition.
One of the things that I think resonates with our audience is that each piece is its own unique experience, and if that experience isn't palatable for you in some way, it's okay, because it's only 3 minutes long, and then we'll move on to the next one. And so that allows us, because we go in with that spirit, it allows us to have a lot of different tone and vibe diversity. So you'll have a tap piece and then a hip hop piece and then a ballet piece and so on throughout the whole thing. My job is to create a show that has that type of vibe and tone diversity but still feels cohesive and not completely disconnected. So here's an example. So the opening number was called $1 Billion Baby, and it took place during Prohibition, and it was this incredible production number that had, I think, 25 or 30 dancers on stage at one time. And so the next number was a tap number done in the style of Charleston. And so it made logical sense that the tones were different, but that the dancers in one number would interact with the dancers in the other. So the first 30 seconds of Charleston was a complete interaction of the dancers, which just created a nice flow from one number to the next. And then in Act 2, we had an incredibly moody dance called Let It Rain. And it was really just letting someone dance out all their emotions. The psych was a thunderstorm. There was dappled lighting everywhere. And as the dancers began to leave the stage one at a time, the mood started to shift and settle just a little bit, just like a storm calms down. And then the next dance was called Clearly. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. And so we started to build the tech, and it became like a morning. And you could almost smell a morning where the clouds came and the rain had just fallen, but the sun was beginning to shine. And that was the work of the collaboration of the two choreographers trying to make that moment happen for the audience.
Are there any other collaborative parts of the process that were especially rewarding to you?
Yes, our whole perspective in our department is collaboration. And I never say that lightly, because we collaborate in just passing, but then we collaborate on really deep, meaningful ways. And I think that shows in how the dancers are trained and how they learn how to learn. And it shows in our creative spaces as well. And so when the dancers see two choreographers working together in a creative space, and they see that there's no ego there, that it's just two dance makers, two art makers working in the moment to be honest with what it needs, that brings me complete fulfillment to see that, whether I'm involved in it or not, but to see two people that I admire working in that regard with mutual respect, I think is very special.
And of course, the students are the center of our productions. So what do you hope your students took away from being a part of this production move?
I hope that they see that just because a process is a little messy or a little bit bumpy, that there's moments of being uncomfortable or awkward, because when you collaborate, there's going to be moments where not everything works together seamlessly, that they see people that they respect work through those uncomfortable moments and find compromise and find common ground, and that they see that collaboration is powerful. Collaboration can only happen through mutual respect, and when the students see their professors show that maybe I do not have the answer in this moment, but I can lean on someone I respect to help me find that answer, then I get to see them do that with each other. And then it becomes about collaboration and cooperation and not competition. And so stripping away ego and ownership, I think, is a skill that will get them far in this business. Show business is dynamic, and it's full of a lot of unexpected twists and turns, and there's no guarantees. But if they are in the habit of exuding mutual respect, understanding when to lead, when not to lead, when to listen, I feel that they will find themselves more successful in the world, in whatever employment they find, but also just in life.
Well, and speaking of students, I'd love to hear a little bit from one of our students. We have Danielle Thompson here. I'd like to ask her to join us. Danielle. Hello. Get you all situated.
Thank you.
Well, Danielle, you have seen many different sides of our productions because you're a dance management major, but you were performing in Move. And can you talk to us a little bit about what you as a student took away from the production?
Yeah, I took away just to be open to everything that is thrown your way, whether you can really fully understand it in the moment or not. I think with all the change of continuing on a legacy and starting something fresh, it was really important for us students to just put all our trust in you and the administration, knowing that we're going to have an incredible show regardless of what it will look like in the end. Yeah.
Tiffany talked about all of the collaborative components of the show. As a student, where did you feel that collaboration came in?
Right from the beginning, we had our audition the first day back after winter break, and something that I felt that the choreographers and artistic director really collaborated on was the audition process. I could tell that they were really intentional with curating the audition process to go from a jazz-focused audition in class to a ballet and tap and hip-hop, so that all the choreographers knew exactly where each dancer's strengths lied. It is just really inspiring to see people that we look up to work together to create something beautiful.
So if you were going to say to another dancer, I don't know, what's that big thing that you felt in your heart just walking out when that show closed? Maybe in a couple sentences, how did you feel?
I think for me, just leaving the auditorium that day, that for that last final bow, I just had a sense of pride for the program, and I feel really confident moving forward post-grad that whatever is going to happen in this dance program, the trajectory is going in such a great direction that I know that those special moments are just going to continue to happen.
Thank you, Danielle.
Yeah, thank you.
Tiffany, what's next? Are you already working on the next production?
We are. I've learned that you have the show that you're planning, you have the show that you're making, and the show that you're finishing. So at any one time, there's 3 or 4 different shows going on. And so we are ending the year with some of our rep company performances as we go out into the community and perform. And then our next big main stage show is in December, the Holiday Spectacular. And we've already had our first faculty meeting last week, actually, and we're prepping everything that we need to so that we can move forward with that show. And Danny we've worked on several projects together. And so if you don't mind me putting you on the spot a little bit, Danny, so one of those is the student choreography show project that you got to be a lead on and have a perspective on. And then you're right in the middle of Project 21 as well. So what do you think would be interesting for people to see the sides of you, the artist in you, but then also the management leader in you? Yeah,
absolutely. I think auditioning for this program back when I was a senior in high school, that's one of the major things that drew me here was the ability to perform and also develop skills in a managerial sense. And I think I've just really taken away, there's nothing I can't do. And I don't think I could have figured that out on my own. I really think I needed a safe space where I could figure out those skills in an educational atmosphere. And I think it's really rewarding when you do put yourself out there, and you might not know exactly what's going to happen, but having great mentors like yourself, Dean Mel, Dean Susan, help you and be there for you when you do fall and let you know it's going to be all right. That has really helped me push myself and learn new things.
Yeah, and I saw that in you.
Thank you.
As we talk about collaboration, the audience is actually part of our collaborative process. They are who we're communicating to. So when we're talking about our audience, what do they take away from our productions now and in the future?
I think that our calling card is that we always present a polished, professional show with the highest levels of production value. We think about every nook and cranny. We try our very, very best to put something on the stage that the audience will really connect with and enjoy.
Yes, and I would also like to add that everything that the dance school presents is excellent, and that the whole goal throughout the entire process, from the first day of rehearsal to the last show, our goal is to connect with each audience member and hopefully share some story that they can relate to.
I want us to share one fun story, and you can tell me what it felt like to be a performer, but one of our reviewers was so touched and moved by the show that he wrote 2 reviews, and the second one, he literally went through and named every single dancer in the bows. So what did that feel like? What was your words? Do you remember what he said for you in the review?
I want to say Thompson's or T was terrific. Or I want to say it was that.
Yeah.
I thought it was really neat that someone felt inclined to recognize every single member of the company. And like we said, it's 120 members, and that's only the faces you see on stage. We had so many terrific leaders working behind the scenes, making the show possible, and it was just really rewarding to really be seen by someone.
Yeah. Well, we invite everyone to come experience this dynamic, whether it's emotional, exciting. There's so many words because Tiffany Vandermeer does such a great job of crafting the ebb and flow of the production that you really walk away with so many different emotions. But we're excited. We invite you to come to one of our next shows, and we will see you there because you know it's going to be fantastic.
Come be invigorated and come be inspired, and we promise that by the end you'll want to stand up and boogie down and shake with us as well.
Thank you.